with the content creator Seat and with our guest Ryan Solomon. Am I right?
Solemn.
Solomon? Okay.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
bad,
yeah.
bro.
So good.
Okay, so you know what? Let's talk about this. So the first thing I want to just kind of do is kind of introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you for people that don't know about you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep, my name is Ron Solemn. Well, that's the name that I go by. That's my
Okay.
artist name. Um,
Mhm.
been doing music since about 2016.
All right.
Um, and yeah, like I'm just all about, like mental health awareness. That's what a lot of my music and my artistry is about. So
Okay.
I really enjoy performing live and everything, and yeah, man, it's just been a wild journey, and you gotta love the art. So
All right, yeah, man. I figure it's like, okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, I kind of figure when listen to your music, it's like, man, he's definitely talking about a lot of mental health, spirituality, you know what I'm saying, depression, selfishness, like, human nature type of stuff. And I was like, that's pretty cool, man. You kind of remind me of J. Cole in a way when he talks about like the duality, him and Kendrick. And I was like,
yeah,
man, that's
yeah,
kind of what I got from your music when I first heard it. I said, man, he's kind of got that aesthetics where you're like, okay, you're talking about the good and the bad, not just the
hmm
bad things.
right.
But yeah, that's really dope, bro. Really dope, man. So, um, does anyone in your family did you just start off doing music, or are you do you come from a musical family?
I have family on my dad's side that's
Okay,
really into like music, and they've been, whether it was acting or music, like they performed in some way.
okay,
Um, as for, and then I have a cousin right now. He does music too, so me and him connect on things and make art. But yeah, I would say I definitely have some talented family members, but that's not what prompted me to get into it. I kind of just found my own path to that. So
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. You may come from a family. I know for me, a lot of people in my family are very artistic when it comes to like drawing, painting, and all that stuff.
mhm.
And like you said, some of us have kind of just drifted away from it. Me doing YouTube, I guess that kind of became an art form. And some people just weren't interested. They did other things. And I was like, man, because it's like I said, a family thing, like with the
Mhm.
grandkids, it's like most of the grandkids have an artistic talent, whether it's my grandmother or my grandmother's sister's grandkids, or so it's like it's crazy how that kind of does its own thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, family does it, but it's mainly not that. Because I know for me, art used to be my biggest thing. Like I had art all the way through from K to like 12th grade, even in college. So
Mhm.
it's kind of been
Yeah.
like one of those things that I really enjoyed. So
Right.
the next question I wanted to ask you, when did you know that you really wanted to do music? Like was it something that kind of just sparked?
Mm, so I guess because like when I started making music, I was in college at the
Okay.
time.
All right.
So uh like I had friends and people that were into making music as well. It kind of just fostered like a competitiveness, I guess you could say.
Okay. That's what's up.
Um, yeah, but like especially once like you keep pursuing a different like a talent,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be, then you start to reach a level where people are like enjoying what you're doing and paying attention to it. So then it's like, oh, okay, I might be able to do something with this. And I guess
Okay.
I might as well, like if you find something that you enjoy and that you would be doing regardless, you might as well try to make it, like your full-time career. So, you know,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah, that's good that you had people around you that did music. And I think that makes it more interesting because like you're more geared to do music. Like, okay, well, everybody else is around. I want to do music too. So it's like you said, you
Mhm.
have the competitiveness, even the support and everything. And I know sometimes it's not like that. I know for me, I don't know many content creators in my state.
Mm,
I know some, but not many. Like I have one friend. I think he finally like is making money off of YouTube.
mhm.
And the other person, I'm not really for sure. I haven't seen that person in quite a while, so I can't really say like, are they making money off of it?
Yeah, right.
Maybe, maybe not. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I think that's dope though that you had that, college, and then you're kind of like, okay, this is what I really want to do, and putting your, effort and the determination and everything. What was the hardest process for you, if you don't mind me asking?
Um, so the hardest part of it all, I guess, was taking in critiques.
Okay.
Like people have different critiques of things and, like different opinions. And I guess for me, like I didn't really mind too much. Like it still was, it's always gonna be a bit like intimidating to try to put yourself out there in front of people.
Right.
Um,
Definitely. That's true.
yeah, so like that was a bit scary at first, but if anything, I was always more afraid of um like my family, like family and like close relatives and people like that seeing my stuff, you know, not so
Okay.
much like I rather have like strangers like looking at my stuff than, my mom or my dad. So but definitely just putting yourself out there in general is can be nerve wracking,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. That's definitely something that can be nerve wracking. And
Mhm.
then, especially like you said, you may not want friends or family knowing, like, yo, I got this talent. And you're like, nah, I don't want them
Yeah.
to know.
Right.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Mhm.
guess that can be it can be awkward. I can see why you said it could be an awkward process because you're like, yo, I got this talent or got this gift, and is this just a
Yeah.
phase? That type of thing.
Exactly. Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah,
Right.
that's definitely good that didn't let that get discourage you or unmotivate you to do those type of things, and hey, you're here, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, once you get past those early stages and, like, that fear of rejection and stuff like
right.
that, like, you basically become invincible in a way, so
Right. Like Superman.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. So my next question I wanted to ask you is, I checked out the Hasty, man. I like that track, man. Um,
Thank you.
was that inspired by like a early 2000s or 90s video? I kind of get that vibe by just watching the video.
Um, I just to be honest, like,
Okay.
we had the footage and, I started using a new program
Okay.
to edit my music videos, and I kinda just started playing around with the effects, and that's kinda
Okay.
like once you see all the different things you could do, you kinda just keep, messing around with that. So that's literally all that was right there.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, I said
Yeah,
this kind of gave me like early like 90s or like 2000s. It kind of gave me that vibe. I was like, wow, this is dope.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I was like, man, I wasn't expecting. I was thinking you was gonna say like, look, man, I did this, I did that. I'm like, oh, he was just playing around with the editing. That's
yeah.
dope.
Once you see all the different effects, you just kind of mess around with stuff like.
Right. Yeah, I do that
Hmm.
with editing videos. I kind of sometimes play around with it just to see what I can do with them. Let's see. I got new features. Let's see what they can do with this.
Yeah.
What's going on, Koj? What up? Thanks for joining the show. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in, Koj. And yeah,
What's
man,
going
I
on?
appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's dope, bro. Yeah, I was thinking like you had the director. You said, nah, bro. I was just editing, trying to figure it out, trying to make it happen,
Yeah.
and there you
I was
go.
on a I was on a crunch time to get everything out, so I was just like playing around
Okay.
with what they had to offer. So
Okay.
mhm.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's good that you're hands on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes
Hmm.
people are not hands on and doing their own videos, but it seems like you're really hands on. I didn't expect that, man. I was thinking like man, he must have got a director. Hey, look, man, I need you to do this. Yeah, I got an idea.
I wish, but nah, man. You know, I just
Yeah,
basically, just still underground, so you have to kind of
yeah,
do a lot of things yourself, and it kind of saves you money in the long run too. So.
yeah. Yeah, definitely true. Yeah, if you're underground, definitely, man. Being
Hmm.
hands on as a shoe engineer. Yeah, yeah, definitely, Coach A. Definitely, man.
Yeah, man.
And so my next question for you, and this is interesting. So was your rap name always that, or was it anything different? Did you go by a monkier name or anything?
Um, when I first started, I was just using my regular name, which is like Ron Williamson. So
Okay.
I didn't really know what to call myself, but
Okay.
R- Ron Solemn. I don't know. I was in class one day and it kind of just like it flowed well to me. So I was like, okay, yeah, like, I might as well take it.
It does. I'm like, because you said your last name, like, oh, coming
Yeah,
out like a comedian.
yeah. It was
Ron
nothing.
Williams.
Yeah, it's nothing like
Yeah,
nothing
I mean,
like
yeah, I get it, man. I know that's what I did with my channel name. It was like people weren't really understanding what it was, and then it kind of
Mhm.
became frustrating because people were like, "Oh, I like this," and I'm like, "Well, you're saying it wrong." So then eventually, I was like, "Oh, ill blurred matic." I thought about blurred because I am a blurred ill. Then
Yeah,
matic, I thought about ill like illmatic, and I was like, "That's it. It sounds
right,
great. It's not complicated. It's not
right.
super." And people eventually caught on.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah, so
man, you have to find something that fits your character, your
yeah,
personality. So,
yeah.
how long did it take you to get your name?
I had about four.
Oh, gotcha,
The
gotcha.
first one was originally supposed to be like originally my channel was supposed to be something different. It was like
Mhm.
motivational quotes. I grew bored with that. Then eventually I had like abbreviated PCS, and then I had PCS live, and then Ill Blur Matter just sounded better. It's like people really caught on. Then Charles S Live too. So I had five.
Okay, yeah, it's a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it was a hard one because I'm like, man, okay, people didn't like this one, people didn't like that one,
Yeah.
and then I was nervous when I did it the fifth time. Like, is people really gonna rock with this or not?
Right, right, right.
I was on my Birdman, like,
Mhm.
oh man, but yeah,
That's
so yeah,
cool,
it's
man.
good that you were able to pick one out quick, man.
Mhm.
I wish I was
Yeah,
there.
man. It's okay, we all gotta go
Yeah,
through that phase, like, becoming a superhero, trying to
right.
figure out your superhero name.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So my next question I wanted to ask you, and this deals with your track "Selfish." What is the most selfish thing that you've done?
Oh, man. That's rough.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily think it's so selfish, but,
Okay.
there comes a point in life where you just have to kinda put yourself first, you know?
Okay.
Um,
All right. I
as
respect that.
opposed to yeah, like, always like, of course, you're still there for people and, giving and everything, but you have to if you're not good with yourself, then you can't really help other people. So even if that means, like, you're not able to be somewhere all the time, or, you need to take some time off to get your mental health right, like, that's all necessary stuff, and people might think it's selfish because 'cause you're not, always there for them on their time, but,
Okay.
you
That's
you know
definitely a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I would
Mhm,
say, yeah, I would say that. I'm not really I'm not the friend that you see all the time. I get where you're coming from with this. I'm the friend
mhm.
that I'll pop up at an event and then you might not see me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
like,
how can I put it? I'm like Kendrick. I pop up every now and
mhm,
then I disappear. But yeah, you don't see me
right.
everywhere.
Same here, man.
Yeah, I guess. And then I see why you say that because if you think about it, sometimes you do need that mental break from people because it can be too much, it can be overwhelming.
Mhm,
And sometimes you need that. I think the pandemic taught me that. Like I think
right.
once the pandemic came up, I started to kind of invest more into like doing stuff with YouTube, learning different things, and just kind
Mhm,
of doing more for myself and not really being as available, you
right,
know what I'm saying,
right.
to people. So it's like, people hit me up like, everything good. I'm like, yeah, everything good. Just
Yeah,
trying to figure this stuff out and, learn things and just kind of putting myself, out, like you said, yourself first. And some people weren't happy with it. Some
yeah,
people like,
man.
oh, I just was worried. I'm like, hey, everything's all right.
Right. It gotta be that way, man. You take care of yourself, so then you can
Yeah.
actually be
So
able to be there for other people. So,
yeah, I mean, I was like, I still would like test people, you know what I'm saying? And every now and then if they wanted to talk, I would, reach out. But most of the time it was like text message or every
mhm,
now and then call, depending on the type of person it was that I wanted to hear from. But yeah.
yeah, right. That's
Right.
cool.
So
Mhm,
yeah, that's definitely true. I would say that, and just put in more time into the things you want to do. I think that's the other thing I would say. I know when I started my channel, originally I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go with this. So I was like,
mm,
I gotta figure this out. Like, first idea, like I said, was motivational quotes, and I grew
mm,
bored with that. I was like,
yeah,
what can I do to make this funny or entertaining? That
right.
was the biggest thing. And
Mhm,
then I was like, this is not really working no more. And then I had friends that wanted to do content creating. That didn't really work out. I don't know why.
mm,
But I had two friends, and then I had another friend after that, and it just wasn't working, it wasn't clicking. And I just said, you know what, let me just do it solo.
yeah.
Yeah, it could get a little complicated where you're having to rely on people and they're not really invested in it.
Oh,
So
definitely. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
right. So I definitely had to realize and say, you know what, maybe going solo would be better. It took some time, but
Mhm,
eventually, like I said, it got somewhere because the people eventually started to realize, like, oh, this guy's dope. He's doing all these different things, and
mhm.
so yeah, definitely, being selfish with your time, I guess.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
man. Can't,
yeah,
especially when it comes to, like, matters of creation and stuff like that, like,
yeah.
whether it's, like, shooting a video or whatever, like, people aren't always the best when it comes to, like, being on time, like you said, and just
Right.
other things, so
Yeah,
it's best to go at it, and do what you can by yourself
correct.
as much as possible, so
Yeah, as much as possible. True. Yeah, definitely, man. You're right
mhm,
about that. I was like, man, yeah, it was a difficult process, but then I realized like maybe this is better for me to go solo. 'Cause then you see all these group channels, couple channels, and friend channels. I'm like, oh man, I would love to do something like that.
yeah,
I'm thinking, it's like, oh man, this is gonna be fun, and stuff like that. And people just weren't really interested in the ideas, and one of the
mhm,
people just had the wrong intentions, and I was just like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
yeah, yeah, I know what it's like.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
said, man, that's what's up, man.
mhm,
So my next question I wanted to ask you is pretty much, did you from your music, because I hear this a lot in your music, did you take classes like psychology, anthropology, and all that stuff in college, man? Because it's like when I hear your music, I kind of get that realm from it when it
mhm.
comes down to it.
So that's the thing, like, I've never had a psychology class, like a formal
Okay,
one. I just kind of got into psychology as a result of, like, my interest in mental health
okay,
awareness and, even just, like, my own kind of personal experiences with mental health stuff,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, so I
Yeah, I
just
wasn't expecting that.
yeah, just kind of did all the research on my own time, like just learning about it because I was genuinely interested, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's not.
No, it's not. No, it's just that you just decided to learn that, and I mean that's a good thing. I mean, I know I had psychology since high school, had it in college. I had it, you know what? I had it throughout high school. Yeah, I had psychology throughout high school, as a matter of fact.
Right.
Um, and then I took classes like ethics, sociology,
Mm,
anthropology, in college. Those classes were very interesting, especially ethics.
yeah.
Ethics, it was one of those classes where I it was this one young lady, and I could never forget it. We were in class, and it was a white young lady. She's like, I don't believe in racism. I'm like, what? The whole class looked at her like, what? I
Yeah.
was like, wow. But the reason why she probably thought that, because she's coming from this wealthy lifestyle. She came from like a wealthy family, and she
Mm,
wanted to see what college was like, and she didn't
right.
come back after that.
That's all it takes, man.
Harsh reality. She just was like, "Oh no, I ain't come back."
Yeah. A dose of reality for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, ethics was an interesting class. I gotta say, my teacher was a pastor. He was very open minded. That was the very
Mm,
surprising thing. I was like, he's a pastor. Like it was just
right.
mind boggling. I was like, this is different. And like I said, the
Yeah.
stuff we talked about, morality, human nature, all that stuff,
Mhm.
bro, is mind blowing. Like if you really pay attention to that stuff, even when I took anthropology, we talked about love and just the different versions of love, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was dope, like having that experience. But no, it's good that you made the effort to, like, since you had a general interest in it, and say, you know what,
Mhm.
I want to learn these different things, and just say, hey, look, this is it.
Right. Yep. It
Yeah, because have
definitely
you
is,
seen
man.
the documentary? I think it's called Century of Man on YouTube. You seen that?
I don't think so. What is that about?
It talks about propaganda, and it's with Sigmund Freud's nephew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like how people smoke cigarettes, why people drink beer, and just how they get people to do these commercials, and how we are drawn to commercials and just
Right.
vehicles and all that stuff. It's a good documentary. I'll just say, bro, if you have big free time, check it out. It's a 3 hour documentary.
Oh, man.
I want you to be like, bro, you ain't tell me it's 3 hour
Yeah.
documentary.
Yeah, that's a long
Yeah.
one. I definitely might check that out, though.
Yeah, it's good. I forgot who was that mentioned it. B.O.B. mentioned it. He was talking
Mm,
about. I said, "Man, what's this about?" And I was like, "Oh, this it was probably one of the best documentaries I've seen on YouTube." I was like, "This was pretty darn good." I'm
right.
like, "Yeah." So yeah, it was just showing you like how they got people to smoke cigarettes, drink beer, clothing, the appeal of cars, and why we buy these things, and how we're triggered.
Mm.
I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I might have to look into that. I might have to watch that.
Yeah, I was just amazed by it. I said, wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I was like, that's crazy that they have documentaries like that. But yeah, that's probably, like I said, one of the best ones I've seen on YouTube, man.
Mhm. Yeah, Imma look that up. Imma remember to look that one up. Season of Man,
Okay.
you said. Yeah.
So what are some of your rap influences, if you don't mind me asking, bro?
Definitely, like some of the ones that you named. So,
Okay.
like, Kendrick Lamar,
Okay.
J. Cole. In more recent years, it's definitely been J. Cole. J.
Okay.
Cole. Um, who else? I do listen to a lot of like I don't know if you heard of like Griselda and like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
listen to
yeah.
Griselda.
So a lot of yeah, I listen to them a lot too.
Okay.
And just hip hop in general. Travis Scott. I'm a big music fan, so I listen to a lot. But I also have a lot of old influences like
Okay.
like Motown music type.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's what's up, man. I wasn't expecting you to say Motown. I was like, what?
I grew up on that, man. That's my
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. And you said Griselda. Yeah, man, Griselda. Like I said, I actually do like them as a collective, man. I think my favorite acts over there would have to be Benny, Wrong
Mhm.
Streets. I like Bodie. And I heard rumor is Jay Electronica is supposed to be signing with them too. So he probably would be the next act I probably like on that label.
Oh wow, that's cool, man. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I was like, Jay Electronica. It's like I seen something online talking about it, and Hit Boy's like, yeah, it seems like Jay Electronica may be signing to Griselda. I was like, what? I said that's crazy. Like, I
Right.
never expected him to like actually be. But then when I think about it, Griselda. If I think about it, Bodie probably was the one that Nas kind of missed out on. I think he couldn't do anything with Bodie the way he wanted to. So it
Mhm.
was probably a better fit that he was with Griselda because they already had that sound.
Yeah,
But with Jay Electronica, that's an interesting piece. Though. I was like, wow, so
yeah.
yeah,
I'll be
I
looking for
mean,
that.
right. I look forward to it. I mean, there is a track with him and West Side Gun that's coming out, produced by Hit Boy. So yeah.
I have to hear that. Yeah, that's deep, man. That's cool.
So yeah, I'm a lover of music too, man. Even though I don't rap or sing, I mean, I do the chorus, and stuff like that
Oh,
for my intro. But you want to hear a funny story, Ryan?
mhm.
A few years ago, when I was on Twitter, people were like literally inboxing me like, "Yo, man, I need a feature from you." I'm like, "What?" They really
Yo,
thought I was a rapper based on my new
yeah,
name.
right.
So
People
every
ain't
now
mad
and then, my inbox will have like, "Yo, man, I see like I heard the verse, man. Give me a bar." I'm like, "What?"
Now I gotta give you credit, man, because I do enjoy your theme song. Like,
Okay, I
yeah, like when
appreciate
it
it,
comes
man.
up, yeah, I have to listen to
Yeah.
it all the way.
Yeah, because I was like, man, I'm thinking like when they said it, even this one guy was like, yeah, man, I get you a deal. What do you say, Def Jam, Interscope? I'm like, look, man, I'm just a content creator.
Rap's
you
not
got
your
the
thing. Got you.
you got the wrong person. Yeah, but I still joke about that every now and then. I haven't had it happen yet this year. I'm not gonna say that, but
Mhm.
I may get one of those inboxes for a feature. And people were giving
It might be from
prices.
me. Yeah, it might be me asking you for a feature, man.
Yeah, man. So that was the funniest thing, and people thought I was joking. I'm like, no, people were really going in the inbox.
Mhm. They wanna get you on the track, man. That's cool.
Right. So one thing I noticed about your music too is you're very melodic, man. Like who is your melodic influence when it comes to the whole singing rap type of thing?
Uh, Definitely like a Stevie Wonder.
Okay. Okay, Stevie, all
Ste
right.
Yeah, and then I guess, like early 2000s Kanye.
Okay. Okay. Like 808 Kanye?
Yeah, like that graduation period.
Kanye. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I see like when I hear some of your tracks, I'm like, man, this dude got this melodic tone with. I'm like, all right.
Yep. Yeah,
I
man,
think
definitely.
yeah, but you know what? Melodic rap has kind of come a long way. To be honest with you, I think it's becoming more popular.
Mhm.
And the reason I say that because I just heard this guy, excuse me, that Kanye co-signed, and the whole song is a melodic rap. He's talking about how he's catering to his woman. It's like this is a whole melodic rap track.
Wow. Yeah, gotta check that out.
It is. I was like, wow. I listened to him like, hey, this don't sound bad. It's different, but it works.
Right.
Yeah, man. I think that's dope, man. That hip hop has all these subgenres. You got the singy songy rap, you got the rapidy rap,
Mhm.
alternative rap, what's that, progressive rap, you
Yep.
know what I'm saying, industrial rap, jazz rap. And that's dope that it's like that. It's not just, oh, it's just
Mhm.
traditional hip hop, you know what I'm saying? That type of
It
thing.
all
So
blends together
yeah,
nowadays. Yeah.
yeah, it really does. Yeah. So would
Mhm.
you ever do a melodic album? Like, in that sense, or not really?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Singing is I prefer sing like, that's actually my main thing, or it should have been. Like,
Okay.
not like it can't be, in the
Okay.
future, but just I think that's more where I fit, and that's something that can last. Hip hop can last too, like, I don't think hip hop is ever gonna die, but at the same time,
Okay.
I think singing is like more universal kinda in a way.
I can
So,
see that. I seen that there are a lot of artists that sound like Drake now.
mhm.
Anderson Paak, you do have the rappers that got the singing with it too. And I mean, it's dope that there are a decent amount of them influence. It's like, wow, you got the singy
Mhm.
songer rap, and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely, man. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
melodic, man. Yeah, that's definitely dope that you want to try that out, man.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, especially just imagine, like, what people will be listening to in generations, decades from now, like, when we're, like, 80 and stuff,
right.
it's like, are they gonna be listening to hardcore hip hop or
Yeah,
something, like, more smooth, like, singing, like so
yeah.
just thinking about the future kinda,
Okay. Yeah, that's
um
what's up. Yeah, like I said, definitely a lane. It seems like it's more popular now than what it was. Because even I listened to the Kanye Vultures, and that felt a little bit more melodic. It still had rapping Kanye on there, not as much, but it was
mm,
more singy a little bit. And I was like, this is different. It's not the best version of Kanye, but I see where he's going with this sound wise. I was like, okay, this is more of a melodic type of album compared to a rap album. It's
yeah,
like, okay,
yeah.
yeah, so it's definitely different. I was like, okay, this is different, but I kind of get
Mhm.
it. It's not his best piece of work, but I see where he's going. I think the second, like the Vultures part two,
Mhm.
maybe they'll have like a little bit more of the singing, but I did like that he did have he's getting back a little bit more into rapping to some degree. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm like, I was hoping like, please don't let this be whole singing album.
Yeah.
Can we get some rapping in there too? And I'm like, okay, he did do some rapping in it, but it's a little bit more singy bass and stuff like that, and that's cool. Like I said, because melodic hip hop is starting to become a bit more popular. I see.
Oh, yeah, definitely a trend, yep, mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
my next question for you, how did you build your fan base? Because I know you said you're an underground artist. Was it the internet or just going places?
It was a mix of both,
Mix of both?
like,
Okay.
once I got comfortable performing live,
Hmm.
like, in front of crowds, it became
Right.
almost like an addiction, so,
Okay.
like, I really enjoyed just performing live in front of different audiences, so you get, supporters that way, and
Hmm.
then online, getting on, like, Spotify playlists and things
Correct.
is a key component of it.
Yeah,
Um, like,
definitely.
once you do that, like, the rest kinda works for itself. So, ever
Okay.
since, it's been like a domino effect, and, like, just random people from, like, Discover Weekly, will hear
Okay.
something, and that's
Yeah.
kinda how it goes there.
Okay, that's really cool, man. Yeah, I often wonder because I know everyone has different approaches to getting fans. Some people focus mainly online. Some people, like you said, go out and perform. I guess it all
Mhm.
depends on the type of artist that you are. You know what I'm saying? And Yeah, I get it. Once you start to get comfortable, you're like, okay, I'm used to this now. Like I'm gonna get
Yeah,
more people as I go and stuff like that. And you being adaptable when it comes to not just like, okay, I'm gonna just do online only and find people.
right.
That's a good thing that you word that way because I think sometimes people, and I'm not gonna say I wasn't always that way either, because me at some point I'm like, look, this online thing, this is gonna be it. And I mean, I found people online, you know what I'm saying? It took quite a bit some time, and sometimes you have to go places to meet people, like you said, that may be into what you're doing. And sometimes that's
Hmm.
better because you have a real experience versus, I guess, I don't want to say completely artificial because there are genuine people online too. But it's
Yeah,
sometimes hard to figure out if they're really genuine or are they not?
right.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, that is something that's good that you do that because like I say, I think having both lanes where you're able to do both is a lot better. And you'll see, maybe shifts here and there, like okay, you may get more people online here, but then like you said, with you performing, it's a bit more easier because you're probably amongst maybe 200, maybe 100 crowd of people, and they're able to enjoy the experience, the moments, and all that stuff
Hmm.
with the
Yep.
music. You know what I'm saying? Because you're showcasing it. So yeah, that's
Right.
dope, bro. Yeah,
Yeah, man. Just gotta find your different avenues. There's many different ways, and even with you and I've seen how you've been building your platform
yeah,
through YouTube and like a specific niche. Like that's what it's
yeah.
all about, man. And it's not easy, but
It's definitely not. Yeah, it's definitely not. Yeah, it's all about finding your niche because if you don't have a niche, it's kind of like hard. Like, what is he doing?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's
because
like
I
what is
know I
this?
struggled with that during the pandemic. I remember this one content creator, and I mean, I'm still cool with this person to this day. They're like, oh, you should just stick to doing story times. I'm like, nah.
Right,
I'm like, that's too much. Like, I can't see myself a whole week giving y'all story times. I'm like, nah.
right. Gotta try something different.
Yeah, I was like, I would be very complacent, and then I know for sure I hear people, "Oh, I'll be getting story times." Another one.
Right.
So
Oh man.
yeah, I told people I'm like, no, I can't do story times the whole week. Like that's just not
Yeah.
gonna happen. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do got some good stories, but a whole week that's a bit much.
Yeah, you don't want to give away all your stories, man. Right.
That's another reason too. Like you
Hmm.
been ran out of stories. Like what we talk about
Right. All gone in a week.
now? Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely having a niche is important because if you don't have a niche, then how are people gonna figure out what you're known for? Like I said, for me,
Right.
I always wanted to do more than one thing when it came to content. I think that was the biggest thing for me. It was like, cool, yeah, I can do, story times,
Hmm.
electronic reviews, movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, all this stuff. But I didn't want to just like, oh, he's only known for one thing. That was my
Yeah. Right. Right.
biggest
Right.
thing.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
and I see that some people can do it. There was a guy, you're gonna laugh when I tell you this, Ryan. This man had a channel, nothing but pretty women's feet. That's all his channel was about.
That'll sell though. You found that niche.
Man, as soon as you went to the channel,
Hmm.
and he polished this color. I'm like, this man really, and then it was monetized. That was the
Right.
wildest thing. Like, whole channel on feet, women's
Yeah.
feet.
A channel like that, man, probably it blew up overnight, man.
I'm like, I'm curious about his story. I was like. was like, man,
Like,
I seen the channel. I'm like,
you'll be
really?
surprised. Anything anything with women is gonna sell, man. Like,
Yeah, I was just like, really? Like, just showing feet. He wasn't showing the whole leg now.
that's too far.
Hey, somebody else gonna be like, look, I'm gonna show you the
Right.
leg and the foot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that channel inspired me. I said, man, if he can make videos about feet, I know I can find videos I can do that people can watch. That was my motivation.
Yeah, man. If that can make it, you can make it.
Oh man, yeah. So
Mhm.
my next question, and this is interesting. What do you want people to take from your music? Because I think everyone has that, like a message or a particular thing that you want them to take from your music.
Mhm. Mm, just that it's okay to be yourself. I know that's
Okay,
cliche, but like
okay,
that's really my story.
okay,
And like I from how I grew up and the person that I was majority of my life, like as a child, I can't imagine or couldn't imagine that I would have been doing this now, in
oh,
adulthood. Like
okay. That's
just with how like shy and nervous and like timid and just afraid of the world I was growing up. Like and now it's like I get to be myself through art and have people that look forward to hearing that, and that will come out to shows and support and, accept me for who I am type of thing. So I
okay.
guess like that is just the message there, it's just like
Yeah,
no matter what you think, just because we're not gonna be here for long, like
yeah,
don't live with that regret. Like just somebody out there will accept you and like you for how you are, even if it's hard to like kind of find that in the area
yeah,
you're in.
yeah. That's really good, Brian. That you yeah, focus on being yourself. That's a good one. I like that. I think some of us struggle with that, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down
Hmm.
to it. And yeah, just being yourself is definitely important. I mean, it's like you said, it's definitely difficult because sometimes it's hard to find people to understand kind of who you are as a person.
Yep.
Um, and sometimes it's kind of like, how can I put it? You could be in a room full of people, but then you just feel like you're just like an outsider, or just you don't
Hmm.
necessarily fit in.
Right.
Um, yeah, but there's someone out there, like you said, that kind of understands what you're going through and just understands who you are as a person. I guess like your spirit and just your energy and your aura and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so that's I like that one. That's definitely, yeah, be yourself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, man.
Yeah, because you think about it, it's a lot of people now that everyone. I'm not gonna say everybody, but there's a majority of some people that copy the same thing that other people are doing, and they're not really original. They're just 2.0 of this person,
Yeah. Hmm.
3.0, 5.0 of another person. It's like, well, are you really yourself without certain things that you've taken from other people and not really explored like why they're doing these things, or just the conditioning, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of more of
Yeah.
like a, yeah, psychological thing. Yeah. So
Definitely in the music space these days. Like
mhm.
a lot of the music that gets put out sounds the same,
Yeah.
and there's like a new artist every week, and they kind
Right.
of they copy a certain style, or um just it doesn't even have to be music. I just think in general, like content creation is something that has reached a boom right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
and people. there's nothing wrong with wanting to create content and do stuff like that. But I think people are getting too caught up in trying to figure out what's gonna catch on
Yeah.
and what's gonna, make them take off as opposed to doing what they would do naturally.
Okay.
But I think, doing what you would do naturally actually would work better.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, just people being a little bit more original and just figuring out, their path on this and stuff like that. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from with this, man. Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Because there are some content creators, and I knew one for a fact. Where I guess it's weird. You are inspired by the people sometimes, but then when you meet them, it's kind of like a whole different persona, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, I met you a couple weeks ago. What happened?"
They do say
um,
that never meet your heroes, man.
pretty much, right?
Yep.
And it was like, that person wasn't the same anymore. It was like, okay, I was like, I don't know, this is not gonna work. This is why I kind of are
Yeah.
leery of kind of meeting content creators. Well, the one that I met in my state, there were that person in general. It's like, you kind of changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely true that people should be, yeah, more original, and try not to be the next 2.0 of this person, 3.0, 4. Like, we already got people copycatting. You know
Oh,
what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
it's okay. I guess with music, it's a little different because, like, I know J. Cole kind of took Jay-Z and Nas style a little bit, but then he eventually kind of outgrew that style. Same thing with Kendrick, and I can even say Big Sean too to some degree with Kanye, and they eventually branched off, but then they had their own style after that. It's like, okay, they're
Right.
inspired by these people, but they eventually break off and do their own thing and come up with their own rap styles.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
break away eventually, like they
yeah.
got their foot in the door following like a formula and then made their own formula, which is what you gotta do. So,
Yeah, that's true.
mhm.
Yeah. So, this is one question I asked. Do you write your lyrics or you freestyle? Like, is that the thing,
I
or is it
definitely
both?
write them.
Okay.
I mean, there might be a little bit of room for freestyle
Okay.
ability, like
Hmm.
in the process of recording,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I'm writing out everything because I don't know, I don't feel a desire to make a song for no reason, you know?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like, I know other artists that'll just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm making this song," like, just put a beat on and then press record, and then it'll just go. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
do the
not like
little
that,
inner
like
Jay-Z, huh?
yeah. I'm like, I need to have something that I'm talking about, over it has to make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense because when you think about it, when you listen to like rappers like Nas and Tupac, and I mean I know Tupac did freestyle sometimes, but the written stuff you could like really relate to it, a bit more because it's
Yeah.
written versus them freestyling it. And not to say because I like Biggie, you know what I'm saying? Biggie is probably
Mhm.
one of the favorites from the East Coast besides Nas, and even Raekwon. But with Biggie, I guess because he had that rap style that was like an instrument, dee 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 dee,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I guess maybe that's what attracted me to like his rap styles. Like it sounds like he's playing an instrument.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think, but like you said, with writing, it feels more personal.
Mhm.
And even not just personal, you put more time and thought into it, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure, like, um, sometimes I could start writing a song, but I won't finish writing it for a couple days or, a
Okay.
period of time, like, you just jot a few lines down and then come back at another time when I have, more lines. Not like it's
Okay.
inspired, like not. Um, I just think not forcing it is like the best method. So
True.
that's been the method for me, like I just
Yeah.
wait till I'm inspired. So
Okay. So yeah, writing. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I thought for sure. I said
mhm.
maybe you do a little freestyles every now and
Nah, yeah.
then. You
It's
said-
not my speed, so
yeah, I guess it depends on the artist. Like you said, some people are more into the actual writing more, and then a little freestyle. Then you have some people that's more freestyle, a little bit of writing and stuff. So yeah, that's cool, man.
yeah,
Definitely.
man. You gotta
Yeah.
find what works best for you. So
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You have to.
mhm.
So do you consider yourself underground conscious rapper?
Yes, I would
Okay.
say underground musician,
Okay.
like I listen to that's another influence, like Tame Impala. So
Okay.
like I would say I have a lot of musical influences, and just I don't want to put myself in a box, which everybody
Right.
says that too. But not just
Okay.
so much about being a rapper. Like
Right.
I just like enjoying music, and however I can make a song and put a certain message out is how I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's dope, man. Yeah, that's that is a good way to look at it, yeah, for sure.
But definitely
What was it
underground.
gonna ask you? So, have you won any like contests or anything like down the line with the rap career so far, or not quite just yet?
Uh, yeah, like around the time when I first started, like 2017 or so.
Hmm.
Um, that's when I was really heavy into like the competitions and
Okay.
like submitting stuff like that to try to win money or just some type of recognition. Um,
Okay.
so I've done a lot of that. Um, haven't entered. I think the last contest I entered was maybe back in like 2020
Okay.
or so.
Okay.
But like,
That's what's up.
um, yeah, but contests are fun. It's just like a cool way to try to bring in some extra cash or uh,
Yeah.
or just get posted on a platform, for
Yeah.
example. So
Yeah, that's a good way to
hmm
go about it. Yeah, definitely the money, and then maybe being in the newspaper or online. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
I do think I got a good amount of like a fan base from that as well. So
Okay.
hmm
So my next question, and I never asked you this, do you produce some of your stuff or is someone else that produces?
no, I don't produce like I dabble in
Okay.
it a little bit,
Okay.
but it's a lot sometimes. So
Yeah, I can see why you said that.
um, and I think because I started kind of late, like
Right.
I just I just felt like I didn't feel like taking the time to learn that. So
Okay.
um, I have people that produce around me, and then I'll search for stuff online. I might just purchase a beat offline and then
Okay.
write to it and stuff like that. But um, yeah, no to the production. I may try to learn keyboard one day, but
Okay.
it's not right now.
That's what's up. Yeah, at least you want to try
Yeah.
an instrument out. Yeah, that's yeah, and that's understandable. Like you said, you were late to it, so it's like,
hmm
do I really want to learn these things this quick? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
hmm
like you said, that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like just learning how
Yeah.
to play it and which keys to hit, and
Right. Definitely takes a lot of time, and
yeah,
I think I don't know. Like I'm still technically young, but sometimes I just think too old to be trying to do certain stuff. So
Well, I mean, at least you're interested in at least playing one instrument. I give you
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
There are some people like, I don't want to play no instruments.
right.
I'm strictly just rapper because I look at rappers like Ti and Kendrick, them able to play the piano. I thought that was dope. I didn't know Kendrick played the piano on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I never knew that. I think it's the opening track. Didn't know that was him playing the piano. I thought that was like Dr. Dre or somebody else playing it. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Right.
I was like, what is Kendrick?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so I think it's dope when artists, even though they don't want to produce, their interest in playing an instrument because then, like I said, even Andre 3000, the whole flute album, I thought it was a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't yeah.
yeah, it was different. I
You
was like,
listened to it? You listened to it all the way through?
yeah,
That's cool, man.
yeah, it was. I was like, whoa. I was like, a whole flute album? I'm thinking like he gonna rap, do the flute, at some point. But
Yeah.
it was a whole flute album, and I was just like, oh, okay, I see he's able to go beyond and play an instrument and make it work. I mean, that was the highest selling album. Outsold Nas and some of the other rappers' albums that came out last year. That was the biggest album, a
Yeah,
whole flute
man.
album.
'Cause people had to check it out for themselves, had to see what was happening.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was dope. I was like, wow, because it was like towards the end of the year, it's like, did you know Andre had the biggest release? I'm like, what you mean biggest release? Then I looked, I said, whoa, like this dude really had the biggest selling album just playing the flute. Like that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing. I was like, yo, I mean, it was dope though. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, and then the thing is, I think a lot of people were expecting Andre to give us a rap album, but
Yeah.
and I think if he would have gave us a rap album, it wouldn't have been as good because he said he wasn't really inspired to do more
Mhm.
rap at the time. And it's like, okay, maybe the Flute album was better. We want to have, Andre bars. We like, Andre, I know you can do better than this.
Right. Yeah, man. That's what it's all about, like,
Yeah,
genuinely being interested in what you're doing. So, I'm
yeah,
glad he didn't try to force the
right.
rap, he just kinda stuck to playing the flute.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. And I thought it was dope. I was like, okay, this whole thing is dope. I wasn't even mad. I was like, people were online arguing about it. I can't believe he did a
Mhm.
flute album. How dare he?
Right.
I remember all this stuff. They're like, oh, so Andre, this is what we getting? We getting a whole flute album?
Can never make people happy, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I thought it was phenomenal though. It was different. It gave
Mm,
me like I don't know if you do these type of things. Like you could probably do yoga or meditation to it. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. Or if you're
mhm.
just in a mood where you just want to hear vibe music, it kind of gave me like a vibe type of music where you could just sit and just relax and just close your eyes.
Right. Mm, mhm. Gotta get that meditation in, man.
Right. And I was like, man. But speaking of that, Um, did you hear about what's the name dropping the album? Little John's supposed to be doing a meditation album. Did you hear about that?
No. Well,
I was like, out of all people, Little John.
that's different.
Right. Because I just
Screaming. I might have to buy that.
yeah, if it's good, I'll check it out. I mean, if it's good like the Andre, I'll support it.
Yeah. Gotta
So
buy that.
the most interesting thing I want to ask you, and I don't know if you will ever do it, but I'll ask anyway. Have you ever thought about doing like party tracks, but not super party tracks? Not like, you know what I'm saying? Or that's not really your thing?
I have thought
Okay.
about it.
Hmm.
Um, it somehow is like one of those things that I still,
Yeah.
like I can't just put out a party
Okay.
track and say nothing.
Okay.
So it could sound like a party track,
Okay.
but then like there's still like some deep meaning underneath it that
Okay.
people aren't.
Okay.
I would do something like that though. Yeah.
So something like how can I put it? Like a J. Cole workout or a Kendrick
Yeah.
what is that, swimming pools?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I can respect that.
Like
I can respect that.
the
That's
people. they can't even know, like, they won't even notice that they're listening to, something that has a message to it.
Okay. I think that's a good idea that you're not straying away from where it's not like Tupac I get around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or what is the other the one Snoop Dogg track? I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. Oh, sexual seduction, yeah. Dur, 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 dur,
Oh, yeah,
dur,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dur, dur.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, so that's cool that you want to stick in that lane. You want to do that type of music, but not steering away from your originality. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, Ryan. Like I like the ideal of that. So yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you ain't said like like something like Little John or
Right.
or Trick Daddy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You gotta keep people on their toes, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's dope though. Yeah, because I was like, man, because I was like, man, he does this the conscious thing. So that'd be dope to see if he missed the party with it, but kind of just keep his originality with it. That'd definitely be dope.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Definitely with something I would explore, so
Okay.
mhm.
So my next question for you is, what are some of your favorite music producers, man?
Producers. Um, who are some of my favorite producers?
Okay.
I like Alchemist.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Alchemist is dope, of course, with
Right.
Griselda and that whole crew.
Correct.
Um, who else do I like? I like Hit Boy.
Another good one. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I like Hit Boys good.
whoever whoever produces for like Travis Scott and Boz.
Okay.
I like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm,
that's yeah, Hit Boy, yeah, that's my favorite Kanye protege besides Big Sean. Yeah, Hit Boy is
mhm.
definitely he's been grinding.
Yeah.
Alchemist for sure. You know who you forgot to mention that's similar on the Alchemist level, but he's not quite there yet. He's with Griselda. What is it, Deranger or Derringer?
Oh, Derringer, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I like him too. He's I think he's a student of Alchemist. He really apprecites what he does. And when I hear his music, I'm like, yeah, you could tell that he's inspired by Alchemist. Yeah,
yeah. They connected, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess for me, I would say No ID. I do like No ID.
Yeah.
Who else? There are quite a few. Justice League. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, who else? Hitmaker. That used to be
Of
Young
course.
Bird. He's been having some.
Yeah.
He's got some bangers.
Facts, man.
Yeah,
Can't forget these people.
yeah. Who else? I would say Quincy Jones. He every now and then he still puts out stuff. Yeah, Quincy
That's a
Jones.
good one. That's a
Yeah,
great one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who
I
was
didn't know
the
you was going back to Motown, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, like I said, I like that you mentioned Alchemist. Yeah, Alchemist is probably one of my favorite producers. I wish he worked with Nas. I would like to see them do like a full album together.
Like collaboration or something, yeah.
Yeah, I would love it. I mean, he did
Mhm.
it with Hit Boy. I'm like, come on, Al,
Right,
can you and Nas get in the studio
right.
together? Yeah, but Alchemist, yeah, he's definitely he you know what, he works with Kendrick here and there. Like I know he did that on
Mhm.
Missing Around and Missing. He think he did like one or two tracks on there and that was it. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said, man, I would love to see him work with Kendrick a little bit more on albums, but maybe that's just what Kendrick want, like one or two tracks from him, and that's because I know
Yeah,
he did
right.
a track for Damn too as well. So yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, man. There's a lot of good producers out there right now,
yeah,
like out here on the scene. And I know like they was talking about Nas and his production on some of his recent albums.
right,
Um, so and then he came back, like
yeah, yeah, with a
with like
trilogy,
real hits, like real
right,
bangers. So
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot out there.
Yeah, right. So would
Mhm.
you ever do like a trilogy album? Like if you and the producer were able to lock in and do some music, would you ever be willing to do like a sequel albums or a trilogy?
Oh, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
especially I like, artwork that tells a story,
Right.
and I'm a big fan of like, that whole Marvel cinematic universe, and
Right.
you call yourself, like a blurred. I'm definitely that too. So
Okay.
like, but just like all that type of stuff, I love it, and um, I like how things are, split into different parts.
Okay.
So I would definitely do stuff like that too. I think it would be cool to have like a whole storyline like that. So
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. Yeah,
yeah,
I was like, I was
hmm
amazed that Nas did. I was like, man, we got two trilogies. I
right.
was like, man, he's on his Denzel with the music at that time.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah,
man, gotta have them trilogies. Gotta have them
yeah.
prequels, all that.
Yeah, because like I said, Nas usually don't do trilogies. Denzel didn't with Equalizer, and we got we got three movies. I was like, dang, Denzel.
hmm
I thought you
Right,
said you ain't do trilogies.
right,
Guess he said, I love this movie enough. I'll come back for two more.
right.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're all good. Like,
yeah. Surprisingly, man. Yeah, that's
uh
dope, man. So my next question for you is, what is something that you're talented at that nobody knows about?
um, I think I'm good at trivia.
Okay. Me too.
Like I
Me
always
too.
wanted to go on like Jeopardy or stuff like that. Like,
Okay.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I
Um,
am. I know I went to Dave and Buster's like some years back, like back when I was in college, and me and my friend played this trivia game. I was kicking her butt, bro. Every question, I was out there
yeah,
knocking
man.
them out.
Yeah, man. Trivia is what's
Yeah,
up. Like, I
yeah.
love stuff like that. So,
Yeah, she was mad, but she was always winning at bowling. She would whip me in bowling. So I was like, it's about time I find something to whip you at. every every single
gotta have
time.
at least one game.
Yeah. And I found
Yeah.
it was trivia. She was mad. She's like, I didn't know you was this good at learning stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let people know, man.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah,
hmm
definitely, man. So I was like, wow. But yeah,
Right.
trivia, yeah, like I said, yeah, even in school, I was like that. Certain things I would just know.
hmm
Yeah, that's why people sometimes want me on their team because they're like, oh, he know all the stuff. Yeah, we need him. And sure, they feel
We might have
something.
to we might have to play
Yes,
some Jeopardy, man. Might have to get that game going.
right. Yeah, I don't even know if they still have that game at Dave and Buster's, the trivia game. But I know when I went, man, that was
Right.
fun. I was like, dang, I say, I'm thinking Dave and Buster's just got arcade games. I go in there, I'm like, oh, they got trivia games, you got the
Yeah,
shooting
they got
games, and
everything you could ask for, man.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's true, man. I was like, wow.
hmm
So the other thing I was gonna ask you is, what do you want um people to remember you for when it comes to just overall as an artist?
Um, I want to be like remembered as someone who made timeless music,
Okay.
So like I have a feeling that, a lot of the music that's out now or, that's popular right now might not be around in the future, how styles change
Change,
all the
yeah.
time.
Right.
So I just want to make stuff that, spoke to people and like encourage them, like mental health stuff, and that they listen to, like
Yeah.
years and decades from now and they're still enjoying it. So
Okay.
yeah, I kind of want to exist outside of time.
Okay. You want a statue?
Yeah. A musical statue, yeah.
Right. I mean, some rappers got them. I know Wale has one. I don't know if it's still around or not, but yeah, yeah. I was like,
Mhm.
I didn't even know he had a statue. Yeah, that's cool though. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this is so and so. This is the type of music they did. Yeah, that's dope. I mean,
Right.
I think Mike. I want to say Michael Jackson has one too. I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, man, his stuff is definitely timeless.
yeah,
So, definitely,
yeah,
one of the inspirations. So,
yeah, yeah. Definitely.
mhm.
So, do you have any clothing apparel, or is that kind of in the works?
I do have, like, different clothing items and things that I,
Okay,
sell off of Spotify. It's not a lot,
okay,
but it's there. So,
okay. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
good thing. 'Cause I know some. I asked this because I said, that's the thing now. Like you couldn't go to Spotify. Maybe not. Have you heard of Even Bite? It's
Mhm.
new. It caters to the artist because you know how Amazon and Spotify, you don't make all the money like you're supposed to off of it, and I guess it's
Yeah.
more in favor for the artist. You can do your publishing on there where people can buy your publishing. If you did a documentary, yeah, they're paying into that because it's basically catered to the artist. I think it's really cool. I know I used it for the first time. I bought John Connor, a rapper that used to be signed to Aftermath, his album. And I didn't know how to work it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like it was
Mm.
confused. I'm like, how do I pay
Yeah.
for this? And then it shows you like the different things, like if you buy the autograph CD or if you buy the clothing. So you have like these different options, and I think that's cool that they cater a bit more to the artists and understanding that these streaming services like Apple,
Mhm.
Spotify, Amazon Music, yeah, you may be getting paid from them, but you're not getting paid as much, and they're kind of catering to the musician more than just the streams, or you can put your clothing line, documentary, maybe
Right.
your music rights and stuff. And I think it's kind of cool. It's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm like Eventbrite. What is this? Go check it out on Eventbrite. I'm like, what?
It's always a new platform, and like,
Yeah. Yeah, because I think before
yeah.
that it was like DistroKid. That was the thing that people were using. Yeah, but
I use that. I use that still. So it's definitely my thing.
yeah. So which streaming service do you really enjoy using, like when it comes down to it?
So I use Apple Music
Okay,
personally.
okay,
So that's like my main site for listening to stuff.
okay.
And I know Spotify is big for other people, but I don't know. Like that's where I keep track of like a lot of my stats and things, like
Right,
to see, I guess, how people are listening to what I put out.
right.
But other than that, I don't use Spotify like as a consumer. So
Okay, that's understandable. Some you're gonna like more than
yeah.
others. So yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. It's definitely because, like you said, maybe with Spotify, you maybe it's not your cup of tea. I'm assuming pretty much. It's not really. It's like okay, it's cool. I see the traction coming, but Apple's like my
Hmm.
bread and butter, pretty much.
Right. Yeah. 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 That's where I like to go.
Okay, yeah, because so YouTube Music is kind of really, not really.
Not really.
Not
No,
really.
man.
Okay. I respect that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody has different things doing, like I said, I know some people use Amazon music, which is, somewhat decent too.
Hmm.
But yeah, like you said, it all depends on what they can cater and what they're offering you and stuff. Um, Now this is my last question. This is the most interesting because this is something I'm like, man, I tend to ask this one. Where is the biggest demographic that you get your music from? Is it from the US, other countries, or
Man, that's a great question, man. um, I appreciate the
Oh yeah.
comments. Um, I'll show you where you can find if you're on Spotify too, I'll listen to you. I don't know if you have stuff on Spotify too, Goddess with a pen. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Well,
she
really?
does. Yeah, she does spoken word. I can't see her on my thing though. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm seeing like the comments and everything.
Yeah, that's the YouTube homie.
That's
Yeah, I
cool,
didn't.
man.
Yeah, I still see Koji on mine, but yeah. So is it like
Um,
okay?
so sorry, you repeat one more time the
Oh,
full
so
question?
where's your biggest demographic? Like people that check out your music? Is the U.S., other countries, Mexico,
Uh,
Russia?
I definitely I think it is other countries.
Okay,
I think it's like Brazil and like
okay, South America. Okay.
and Germany.
Okay. All right. Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
so
that.
right. Yeah, there's other places. There are a few cities in the United States that do pretty well too, but
Yeah. Yeah, I
like
agree with you.
the foreign.
Yeah, there are two states that mainly watch my channels, the East Coast. I know Cali is one. I want to say New York is the other place, like on the East Coast.
Mm,
Yeah, and then I have some people in Michigan. I do have some here. Um,
okay.
Yeah, and then like outside of the US is India, Canada.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
that's cool.
And Mexico is I think is the biggest one. Yeah, I was surprised. I'm like Mexico.
Mm.
So oh wow. When it comes to
That's
YouTube,
cool,
it's
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I said, man, that's dope. Yeah, man, that sucks. That I can't see y'all thing. I'm like literally like trying to figure out. Yeah, this YouTube live, they're still working on it. I know they did say they're gonna do some new updates with it. Hopefully, when they do this next update, you can see like the other comments. Because like when you said, it, I'm like, oh, I ain't even see this person on there.
Yeah.
Like I see there's 5 people like watching it, but I can't see the
Hmm.
other comments. And like even before we started, I made sure that the comments could be seen, and I can't
Right.
even see him.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so maybe that's why like I can
Yeah, same here.
see them out there popping up. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, they have a new tablet feature coming where you could do it the other way. But they haven't said what date yet.
Oh, of course.
YouTube is kind of slipping on that. Like, y'all need to give us a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell the
Right.
people where you can find your music and all that stuff, man. And hey, I say
Mhm.
thanks, bro. This was fun, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, man. It's always a pleasure. I
Yeah.
fully support what you got going on.
Oh yeah,
Um,
appreciate it, man.
yep. So my name is Ron Solemn, and that's spelled Sole. M is in Mary, N is in Nancy. Um, if you look that up on YouTube or Instagram, everywhere it's going to be the same thing. So, um, except for TikTok, but I don't really use that. So,
I don't either.
uh, yeah. So, but definitely
Yeah.
Instagram is like my main thing. So, find me on Instagram. I'll follow back, support what you got going on and everything. And same for Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. And let me know what you think. You know,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it, man. So this is
Yeah,
it,
man.
guys. Episode 7. I hope the mic was good. Was the mic good, bro? Were you able to
Yeah,
hear
it's clear to me, man.
I, I wanted to try something new because somebody suggested, like, yeah, maybe you should have the mic. And I'm like, well, I got 3 mics. I'm like,
Yeah,
So I said, let me try the mic out. But all right, well,
hmm.
this is it, guys. This is the Content Creator Seat, episode 8, guys. And we'll be back with another guest on Monday, February, next Monday, I should say, and it will be with Ty White Beats if people want to know. So it is a music producer. So I've been finding people to do with music, which is kind of cool. So I've been kind of switching it up too. So that's the cool thing about it. But thanks again,
Hmm.
Ryan, and thanks for everyone that's here in the chat. Can you see the other people in the chat, bro? Or
What was that?
Oh, thank you. You see anybody else in the chat, or you can't see the other people?
Yeah, I see Sentinel Zero. What's going
Okay.
on, man?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
shouts
see
out to
him.
Sentinel, Goddess with the Pen, Koj. I know he was here
Koj.
earlier because I still see Koj on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate everybody
Yeah,
coming through. And like I said, yeah, bro, any
definitely.
new music coming or not just yet?
So I actually put out a new song about actually like a week or two ago.
Okay.
It's called 5 a.m.
Okay.
So, that might be the type of track that you were talking about, like like a party track that has a message underneath it.
Okay.
So who
Okay.
knows, definitely that and maybe in like about 2 months from now I might put something else out. I try to keep a consistent schedule and
Okay.
things, so
All
but
right.
always open to hearing what people think and everything. So
Yep.
but yeah, man, thanks again for having me and thanks everybody in the chat.
All right. Thanks
Um
for everybody tuning in. I do apologize. I can't see everybody, but thanks, Ryan, for letting me know who the other people were because I was like, I see the people, but I can't see the thing. So
it's all good.
yeah. All right, man. Take care. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Peace. Be
All
good.
right. Peace, man. All right.